Hello and what is going on? Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make this automatic mob farm and or grinder. It's great for XP, works in 1.17 and up, and is super easy to make. Let's get right into the video, shall we? Alrighty, so the materials you're going to need to make this are pretty simple. You're going to need a bunch of stacks of a block of your choosing, recommended cobblestone. It's easy to get, and mobs tend to spawn more frequently on cobblestone. So I would say prepare 7 to 10 stacks. You're going to need less, but if you want to go for extra levels, you're going to need more. So I would say roughly prepare for 7 stacks of cobblestone. You're going to need 2 chests, 9 hoppers, some water buckets, 1 stack of oak trapdoor. Now that 1 stack only counts for 1 layer of the mob farm, and the same goes with the slabs. You're only going to need slabs for the very top of the mob farm. So if you're doing multiple levels, you won't need slabs. You can just repeat the process, but you'll understand a little bit later in the video. But that is all you're going to need to start this basic farm. And the first step to starting any new farm is make sure you have a rough area to work with. This should do just fine. What you're going to want to do is you're going to place your chest, 2 chests, a double wide chest just like that. After that, take your 9 hoppers, place 1 facing into the chest, 1 facing into the hopper, another 1 facing into that hopper. So you should have a double chest and 3 hoppers with at least 1 facing into the double chest. Now 2 hoppers facing this way. Should have an L shape facing into the double chest. And then just fill in these spots. Make sure all their hoppers are pointing into other hoppers. All the items are going to get collected here and get funneled into this chest. If they're not facing other hoppers or the chest, that's how you're going to lose items. So that's pretty simple. You should have a 3x3 hopper grid, all leading into a double chest. Next, take some slabs, put it right over these 9 hoppers. And that's it. So you're done with the chests, the hoppers, and the slabs. This is your collection system. The mobs are going to land on this. You're going to kill them. Their items are going to get collected through the hoppers and fed into the chest. Easy peasy. And for the next step, you're going to take a temporary block, place it above the slabs there, and then 1 out, getting rid of the temporary block. So you should have 1 up and 1 over, and then you're going to repeat this for all the way around our little cube here. All the way around our little 9x9. So you should have a 5x5. And there should be a half block gap in between. This is how you're going to be able to slay the mobs. So once you have this, you're going to continue this pattern 22 blocks high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And you're going to repeat this all the way around following this cube. So let me do that real quick and then I'll show you what that looks like. And we are back. So this is what it should look like. 22 blocks high, completely hollow. This is going to be your collection cylinder. The mobs are going to get thrown down here, and that's how they're going to get weakened by the fall damage, and then you can slay them for XP and drops down there. So now that you have this, you're going to go to each side and build out 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat this on all 4 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, from here, what you're going to do is you're going to fill in all the gaps to that 8th block, like so. So it looks exactly like that, and do this again all 4 sides. I'm going to skip ahead, but I will show you what it looks like. And now that we have this all filled in, you should have a cross pattern looking like this. Also, if you're a little far behind, I know I'm jumping ahead a lot, feel free to pause the video, take a break in order to catch up. It's pretty simple, and self-explanatory, but we're going to get with the next step right now. So now that you have this, you're going to take one block to each of the corners here. So you should have 4 like that. And then simply follow the very edge of the pattern you just created, but 1 block high. This is going to be the final part of the collection chamber. You're going to go all the way around, making sure you get all the parts. 1 block high, very simple, very easy. Same shape, but all you're doing is making the funnel collection now. So you should have something that looks exactly like this. Now, once you have that 1 block high, you're going to place 3 water source blocks at the very edge of all 3 sides. So all your water should be flowing into a collection chamber that looks exactly like this. They're all leading towards the middle, and that's how the mobs are going to fall in the water, like so. They're going to get pushed to the very edge, and once they're at the edge, they're going to fall into the collection chamber right here. Now that you have this, you're going to build it 2 more blocks up. The same way we did with the 1 block high wall before we placed the water, you're going to go around and do that. I'm going to do it real quick so you don't have to. Now that that's all done, the reason we did that is because once the mobs fall into the water, they won't be able to jump back up. Once they fall in, they are stuck in. There's no way of getting out. You will have them. That is it for all the collection chamber and the collection water sources that we need. So now we're going to build a platform for the mobs to spawn on. So you're going to go to each side and simply connect it as if you were finishing a square. So that's 1 corner. That would be the 2nd corner. The 3rd corner. And finally, this is the 4th and final corner. Now, all you're going to want to do is fill in all 4 corners just like so. I'm going to zoom ahead real quick, but I will show you when I'm done. Now, once you've filled in all 4 corners, you should have a platform that looks exactly like this. Nice and simple, right? And now here comes one of the easiest parts. You're going to simply take 3 blocks high and go all the way across this perimeter. So all the way across, all 4 sides, 3 blocks high, just like this. So again, repeat this pattern for all 4 sides, and making sure it's three blocks high, no gaps, no spaces for them to either jump out or any light to come through. Now, once you've gone 3 blocks high all the way around, you should have a perimeter wall that looks like this. Again, the same reason why we made 3 high down here, we made 3 high up here. It's so they can't jump out. Simple as that. Now, you're going to take your oak trapdoors or whatever trapdoors, it really doesn't matter what kind of trapdoors, and you're going to place them like so along the length of the water, and then make them facing down. Same on all the sides. And now the reason we're doing this is because when mobs are going to spawn right here, they're going to think that this trapdoor is a walkable platform, which it is, but when the trapdoor is down, they won't know it's not still a walkable platform, so they will go and they will immediately fall off. But if you were to leave the trapdoors like this, they would come here and stand on the edge of the trapdoor and nothing would happen. But since we're making it down, they're going to walk right off. They don't know any better. They're not very smart. So all we're going to do is go around all the sides of this, making sure you put them all in the down position. This is why you're going to need so many trapdoors, is because it takes 64 for each layer. So if you want to do 1 layer, you will need 64 trapdoors. Now, this would be the point where you'd either make the roof or start on the next layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to add one more layer on this just to show you. But if you had decided just to do the one layer, which there's nothing wrong with that, you would simply add a roof, just like so, covering this whole thing. So it's too high so the mobs can still spawn, but you want to make sure that no daylight's coming in. So that's all you'd have to do if you want to do one layer. We're going to add another layer though, so don't worry. So we're going to, for a second layer, you're simply going to go and add these in right here. We're going to add right above the original layer. All we're making is another spawning platform directly on top of the one we just did. Super simple, super easy, and we're just going to repeat the pattern. So, exactly like that. Repeat this for all 4 sides. Now, once you've done all 4 sides, you should have something that looks exactly like this. Raised up 2 blocks in the exact formation of the original spawning platforms we did. And, again, you're going to need another 64 trapdoors for this layer. Remember how I said each layer takes 64? Well, super simple. We're just going to go around and do 64 more trapdoors. I know it's a little boring, it's a little tedious, but it's very easy. Again, making sure they're all in the down position. That way the mobs will fall off and not continue to walk on them. Very easy. I'm going to do this and then get right back to you. And boom. So we're all done. We placed another 64 trapdoors. And similar to the layer prior, we are going to make this 3 blocks tall. Just like this. Going all the way around once more, following the perimeter. This one's a little tedious, a little boring. But if you did it right the first time, you'll do it right the second time. Very easy, no complications. Quick loop. Let's get right into that. Alrighty, we have finished the 3-block wall following all the way around. And now, again, you could do what I just did for the second layer and make a third, make a fourth, make a fifth. But once you're finally done, whether it be 1 layer, 2 layers, or however many layers you want, you're simply going to, like I said the first time, add a cap, filling in all this space on the 3rd tall block. Obviously, any mobs that are 2 blocks or lower can spawn in here. This farm does not work with Endermen, simply because you'd have to make it 1 block taller, and as soon as they touch the water, they would teleport away. So, this is simply just for skeletons, zombies, creepers, spiders, even witches. This is also a good way to see if you can get a zombie villager. There's a 1 in 1,000,000% chance of you getting a zombie villager, but you can get them. So if you are in a spot where you are stranded for villagers, you can actually get one, and all you have to do is simply pull it out of the farm. Nothing crazy, but all you're going to want to do is fill in this top part, making sure there is no gaps, no way for sunlight to come through. Alrighty, and that is the final step. Now, once you have that filled in, what you could do is you can take half slabs and cover the whole thing again, just so you don't have anything spawning on top. But for this, it's not a necessity, and if you plan on doing extra layers, it's not a necessity. It's only to help with the percent of spawn rates. You could do that, and even then, if you do more layers, you won't need it. You'll be getting so much loot anyway. But that's it. You should have this cube-looking thing. Now, if you are short on blocks, here's what you can do. You can go around to all the sides and trim up. These could be temporary blocks. As you can see, we're just getting rid of some extra blocks. We're not letting any light in. And you can go around this too and do these. This one, I believe you can do that one and that one, should you so desire. But as you can see, look, we don't want to poke a hole in the base there. We want to make sure that we're only taking away blocks that we can spare. You can get rid of these ones too on the side of the collection, and the ones underneath. So you can necessarily cut down your blocks on each side exactly like that. Any corner blocks where there will be no gap if you get rid of, you can get rid of. And this is a good way, like if you're playing Skyblock, of, how to save blocks, and it'll maybe cut you down about a stack. So if you really are that short on blocks, you can do this, but I find it easier to just do it the way I showed you than have to go back and get rid of all these temporary blocks. But like I said, if it's worth it to you, you do it. It's your your choice. It's not, it's designed to help you, and if it's helping you by leaving the blocks, then leave the blocks. Simple, easy, effective, can't complain. So we're going to go just finish this up, all the sides, before we show you how this works. We're just going to trim all this up. That's all trimmed. Let's do this corner, this corner. Yeah, so this about roughly would be a stack of blocks here if you were to not either not place these or get rid of them at the end. And it does kind of look a little nicer. I'll give you that. And one more tip before we get to the mobs. Obviously, you created a large structure in the sky. It's going to create a shadow. And in the shadows is often not a best place because mobs tend to spawn. So all we're going to do is we're going to go around the base here, and I'm placing a bunch of lanterns. Any light source block will do, just so we don't have any creepy crawlies spawning underneath this thing, because that would really stink. And it's as simple as that. So let's show you what it would look like once the mobs start spawning and falling down. So if we fly up into the machine, as you can see, the mobs are already spawning and they're falling right into the water. Look at that. So they're spawning on these platforms here. They will walk off just like I said. And look, boom, falling right into the trap hole. Look at that. So once they spawn, they walk right off the edge. Obviously, I had to cut a hole in here, so that is not good. Let's close that up right there. But so... But as you can see, look, they're falling, and if you don't remove the blocks, this is your collection chamber. And now all you have to do in order to collect their loot is to give them either 2 punches, hit them with a sword, whatever you want to do. And if you stand right here, the mobs, for one, they can't hit and or hurt you because it's only half a block gap. And for 2, you can also get the XP. The XP will get collected through here. And the best part about it, all the loot gets brought right through the hoppers and into the chest. Now this works with 1.17 and up, and it's very simple, very easy, super fun. So I hope this helps, and I guess enjoy.